Alana's life changed in 24 hours. Her father owed a massive $3 million debt to the most ruthless Korean mafia in Seoul, Kang Sung-ho. And the payment? Her. Now, she's trapped in a multi-million-dollar penthouse as the wife of the ruthless 39-year-old mafia head, Kang Sung-ho. He's a criminal, 15 years her senior, and his world is cold, dangerous, and completely unforgiving. Before we begin, friends, please don't forget to like and subscribe. You're supporting us this way, and we also promise to bring you interesting and awesome stories to your screens every day. Alana Brooks stood in a cheap wedding dress she didn't choose, in a small chapel she'd never seen before, watching a man she'd never met walk toward her, Kang Sung-ho. Even his name sounded dangerous. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing an expensive black suit that screamed power and money. His face was handsome, sharply carved features, intense dark eyes, perfectly styled black hair, with distinguished silver at the temples. He looked every bit his 39 years, mature, experienced, intimidating, and he was about to become her husband. "You must be Alana," he said, his English perfect, his voice deep and smooth. "I'm Sung-ho, your future husband." Alana's hands shook. "I don't want to do this." "I know," his expression was unreadable. "But here we are." 24 hours ago, Alana had been a normal college student in Atlanta, working part-time at a coffee shop, dreaming of her marketing degree and a normal life. Then her father's business associates had shown up at her apartment. Korean men in expensive suits, polite, but terrifying. "Your father owes us $3 million, the leader had said. "He doesn't have it. So he's offered alternative payment." "What kind of alternative payment?" "You," he had grinned. "Our boss needs a wife. You'll marry him. Your father's debt disappears." "You can't be serious. The alternative is your father goes to prison. Or worse. And you." The man had smiled coldly. "You get sold to pay off the debt anyway, to people much worse than us. Our boss is giving you a better option." Better option. As if being sold into marriage was better. But looking at the men's faces, Alana had known she didn't have a choice. Not really. So here she was. In a chapel during a thunderstorm, about to marry a 39-year-old Korean mafia boss. "Shall we begin?" The officiant, clearly on Sung-ho's payroll, opened his book. The ceremony was quick, impersonal. Alana said, "I do," in a voice that didn't sound like hers. Sung-ho's "I do" was firm, final, like he was closing a business deal, which essentially he was. "You may kiss the bride." Sung-ho's hand cupped her face gently. His lips brushed hers, soft, brief, nothing like she'd expected from a ruthless gangster. When he pulled back, his dark eyes searched hers. "It's going to be okay," he said quietly. "I promise." She didn't believe him. Hours later, Alana woke in a bed that felt like a cloud. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then reality crashed back. Married. She was married. To a stranger. A criminal. A man 15 years older than her. She sat up, taking in the massive bedroom, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline, furniture that probably cost more than her entire college tuition. Everything perfect, expensive, cold. A knock on the door. "Mrs. Kang, may I come in?" Mrs. Kang. God, that was her now. Yes, a middle-aged Korean woman entered, carrying a tray. "Good morning. I'm Mrs. Lee, the housekeeper. Mr. Kang asked me to bring you breakfast and show you around the penthouse." "Where is he?" "He had business to attend to. He said to tell you he'll be back this evening." Mrs. Lee set down the tray. Fresh fruit, pastries, coffee. "He also had these delivered for you." She gestured to the closet, which Alana now saw was full of clothes, designer clothes, in her size. How did he know? Mr. Kang is very thorough. He wanted to make sure you had everything you need. After Mrs. Lee left, Alana explored her new prison. Because that's what it was, right? A beautiful, luxurious prison. The penthouse was enormous. Multiple bedrooms, a gourmet kitchen, a library, a home gym, a terrace with a view that belonged in magazines. And everywhere, subtle signs of who Sung-ho really was. Security cameras, reinforced doors, a panic room hidden behind a bookshelf. This was the home of a man who lived with constant danger. Alana tried the front door, locked from the outside. She was trapped. That evening, Sung-ho came home to find Alana sitting on the couch, arms crossed, furious. "We need to talk," she said immediately. "All right." He removed his suit jacket, loosened his tie. "Talk. I want terms. Boundaries. If I'm stuck in this arrangement, I need to know the rules." Sung-ho poured himself a drink. "What kind of rules? Do you expect me to—" She couldn't finish the sentence. "Sleep with me?" He said it calmly. "No. Not until you want to. If you ever want to. This marriage is legal, but I'm not a monster, Alana. I won't force myself on you." Some of the tension left her shoulders. "Okay. Good. What about living here? Am I a prisoner? You're my wife. You live here because it's safe. My enemies would use you against me if they could." He sat across from her. "You can go out, with security. You can continue your education online. You can have anything you want. Within reason. Except my freedom. Except that." "Yes. Why?" The question burst out. "Why me? Why force this?" Sung-ho's expression hardened. "Your father came to me 6 months ago, desperate. He'd gambled away money he didn't have, money he'd borrowed from very dangerous people, the Yakuza. They were going to kill him. And then they were going to sell you to a brothel to recoup their losses." Alana's stomach dropped. "What?" "I intervened, made a deal. I'd pay his debt, all of it, in exchange for your hand in marriage. It was the only way to keep you safe, to keep you out of their hands. So you bought me. I saved you. There's a difference." He leaned forward. "I don't expect you to be grateful. I don't expect you to love me. But I do expect you to understand that this," he gestured around them, "is better than the alternative." Alana hated that he was right. The first few weeks were strange. Sung-ho was not what Alana expected. Yes, he was intimidating. Yes, he left for business and came back late. Sometimes, with blood on his clothes, he tried to hide. But he was also considerate, thoughtful, almost gentle with her. He'd make her coffee in the morning before he left. He'd text during the day, asking if she needed anything. He'd come home with books she'd mentioned wanting to read. "How was your day?" he'd ask over dinner. Dinners he insisted they share, even when she'd rather eat alone. "Fine. Boring. I'm going insane being stuck in this penthouse. What would you like to do? Go outside, see the city, feel like a person instead of a bird in a very expensive cage." The next day, he took her shopping, with 6 bodyguards trailing discreetly behind. But still, they walked through Gangnam, and Sung-ho insisted on buying her anything she looked at for more than 2 seconds. "You don't have to buy me things," Alana said, as he handed over his black card for the 4th time. "I want to. Let me do this." "Why? To ease your guilt for forcing me into this?" "Maybe." His honesty surprised her. "Or maybe because seeing you happy makes me feel less like a monster." That shut her up. One evening, Alana was reading on the couch when Sung-ho came home early. He looked exhausted, stressed, the weight of his world visible on his face. "Rough day?" she asked before she could stop herself. "You could say that." He poured a drink, downed it. A rival family is trying to encroach on our territory. It's complicated. Do you want to talk about it? He looked at her in surprise. You want to hear about my criminal activities? I'm stuck in this life anyway. Might as well understand what I'm dealing with. So he told her. Not everything, but enough. About the power struggles, the territorial disputes, the constant threat of violence. It sounds exhausting, Alana said honestly. It is. But it's all I've known since I was 20. My father built this empire. I inherited it. He ran a hand through his hair. Sometimes I wonder what my life would have been if I'd had a choice. What would you have chosen? Something boring, quiet. Maybe running a restaurant. I like cooking. You cook? Sometimes, when I have time. He smiled slightly. Would you like me to cook for you sometime? Yeah, I would. The next evening, Sung-ho cooked dinner, traditional Korean food, made from scratch, and it was delicious. This is amazing, Alana said, genuinely impressed. My mother taught me, before she died. His expression softened with memory. She said a man should know how to feed the people he loves. The word love hung in the air between them. 2 months in, things shifted. Alana had been messaging with an old college friend online when Sung-ho came home and saw the male name on her screen. Who's Chris? His voice was carefully neutral. A friend from school. He was just checking. Does he know you're married? Yes. He was just saying hi. I don't want you talking to him. The words came out sharp, possessive. Alana bristled. Excuse me? You heard me. No male friends. It's not appropriate. Not appropriate? You forced me to marry you, and now you're controlling who I can talk to. I'm protecting what's mine. The words hung between them, loaded with meaning. Alana stood, furious. I am not a possession. I am a person. And just because you bought me like property doesn't mean... He crossed the room in 3 strides, grabbed her wrist. I didn't buy you. I saved you. There's a difference. Then stop treating me like property. They stood there, breathing hard, fury, and something else crackling between them. I'm jealous, Sung-ho finally admitted, his voice rough. I'm jealous of every man who looks at you, talks to you, makes you smile. Because I want that. I want you to look at me the way normal women look at their husbands. But I know I don't deserve it. I know I forced this on you. And that makes me angry at myself, which makes me more jealous, which makes me act like an ass. Alana stared at him. You're jealous? Pathetically so. He released her wrist, stepped back. I'm sorry. You can talk to whoever you want. I have no right to control that. But the jealousy remained, and somewhere deep inside, Alana felt something flutter. He cared. Actually cared. 3 months into their marriage, Alana realized something terrifying. She was falling for him. It happened gradually, small moments that added up. The way he'd put a blanket over her when she fell asleep reading. The way he asked about her online classes and actually listened to her answers. The way he'd hold her hand at public events, not possessively, but protectively, like she was something precious. The way he looked at her sometimes, when he thought she wasn't paying attention, like she was the only thing in his world that mattered. I think I'm losing my mind, Alana told Mrs. Lee one afternoon. Why's that, dear? I think I'm starting to like him. My husband. The man who basically bought me. She laughed bitterly. What's wrong with me? Mrs. Lee smiled knowingly. Mr. Kyng is a good man, under all that darkness. You're just seeing what I've known for years. He's a criminal. He's also kind, loyal, and completely in love with you. He's not. We barely know each other. The way he looks at you says otherwise. That evening, Sung-ho came home with flowers, fresh peonies. her favorite. "How did you know I like peonies?" Alana asked, surprised. "You mentioned it once, a month ago. You said your grandmother used to grow them." He'd remembered. One casual comment a month ago, and he'd remembered. "Thank you," she said softly. "Alana, He stopped, seeming to struggle with words. "I want you to be happy. Here. With me. I know I'm not. I know I'm too old for you, too dangerous, too complicated. But I want to try, to be better, to be someone you could maybe, eventually, care about. Even a little." Her heart clenched. "You're not too old. I'm 15 years older than you. And you're also kind, thoughtful, protective, and you make amazing bibimbap." She stepped closer. "I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying I'm completely over being forced into this, but I don't hate it. Or you. Not anymore." Hope flickered in his eyes. No. He reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away. When she didn't, his hand cupped her cheek. "Can I kiss you? Really kiss you? Not like at the wedding?" "Yes." The kiss was nothing like their wedding kiss. It was slow, deep, full of 3 months of restrained desire. Sung-ho kissed her like she was precious, like he'd been waiting his whole life for this moment. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, he rested his forehead against hers. "I'm falling in love with you," he whispered. "I know it's fast. I know it's complicated. But I am. And I don't know what to do about it. Maybe just keep doing what you're doing. Being you. The real you. Not the Mafia boss, just Sung-ho. I can do that." That night, for the first time, Alana slept in Sung-ho's room, in his bed, in his arms. And for the first time since this whole thing started, she felt safe. Life was almost perfect for 2 months. Alana continued her studies. Sung-ho taught her Korean. They cooked together, watched movies, fell asleep tangled in each other. They attended a charity gala where Sung-ho introduced her as "my wife," with such pride that Alana's heart swelled. "You're glowing," he murmured, dancing with her. "You're the most beautiful woman here. You're biased. Completely. Hopelessly. Permanently biased." She laughed, and he kissed her right there on the dance floor, not caring who saw. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. The attack came at 3 a.m. Gunfire, explosions, shouting in Korean. Sung-ho was up instantly, gun in hand. "Stay here. Lock the door. Don't come out until I come back." "What's happening?" "Rival family. They're attacking. Stay here, Alana. Promise me." "I promise." He kissed her hard, desperately. "I love you. Remember that." Then he was gone. Alana huddled in the panic room, listening to gunfire and violence outside. Praying, begging God to keep Sung-ho safe. After what felt like hours, the penthouse went silent. Then the panic room door opened. But it wasn't Sung-ho. It was a man she didn't recognize. Japanese. From his features. Holding a gun. "Mrs. Kang, you're coming with us." Alana woke, tied to a chair in an abandoned warehouse. Classic villain move. The Japanese man from before stood in front of her. "Kang Sung-ho's pretty little wife. You're going to help us send him a message. He'll kill you for this. Maybe. But first, he'll give us what we want. Territory. Money. Power. All in exchange for you." He smiled cruelly. "You're his weakness. Everyone knows it. Then everyone knows he'll destroy you for taking me. We'll see." They sent Sung-ho a video. Alana tied up, scared but trying to stay brave, a gun to her head. What they didn't expect was how fast he'd come. Sung-ho hit the warehouse like a force of nature. His men poured in from every entrance, coordinated, lethal, efficient. But Sung-ho himself was something else. Pure rage. Pure violence. He killed anyone who got between him and Alana. No hesitation. No mercy. When he reached her, when he cut her free and pulled her into his arms, he was shaking. I thought I lost you. I thought... His voice broke. I can't lose you, Alana. I can't. You're everything. Everything. I'm okay. I'm right here. He kissed her desperately, checking for injuries, making sure she was real and whole and his. Let's go home, she whispered. 3 months after the attack, Alana realized she'd missed her period. The pregnancy test confirmed it. She was pregnant. With Sung-ho's baby. Are you okay? He asked that evening, noticing her distraction. I'm pregnant. He froze. What? Pregnant. With your baby. I took 3 tests. They're all positive. For a moment, Sung-ho didn't move. Then he crossed the room, fell to his knees in front of her, and pressed his face against her stomach. A baby, he whispered. We're having a baby. Are you happy? Happy. Alana, I'm... He looked up at her, tears in his eyes. You've given me everything. A reason to be better. A reason to smile. And now a family. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve you. Maybe not. But you're stuck with me anyway. He laughed, pulled her into his lap, held her close. I'm going to be a father. God, I hope I don't mess this up. You won't. You're going to be amazing. 8 months later, Alana gave birth to a baby girl. They named her Narai. It meant beautiful woman in Korean. Sung-ho held his daughter with shaking hands, looking at her tiny face with absolute wonder. She's perfect. You made something perfect. We made her. Together. He looked at Alana, his wife, the mother of his child, the woman who'd turned his cold world into something warm and beautiful. Marry me again, he said suddenly. We're already married. I know, but I want to do it right this time. A real wedding. Your choice of dress, your choice of venue, your family there. I want you to choose me, not because you have to, because you want to. Tears filled Alana's eyes. Yes, yes, I'll marry you again. 6 months later, they renewed their vows. This time, Alana wore a dress she chose. Her family came from Atlanta, her father, who apologized through tears, her mother, her brothers. And when Sung-ho said, I do, it wasn't a business transaction. It was a promise, a commitment, a choice. I love you, he said, pulling her close after the ceremony. You changed my life, made me want to be more than what I was. Made me believe I could be good. You were always good. You just needed someone to see it. Then I'm glad you saw me, because I don't exist without you anymore. You and Narai. You're my whole world. Alana stood in the kitchen of their home. They'd moved out of the penthouse into an actual house with a yard, making breakfast, while Narai and her baby brother Jiho played nearby. Sung-ho came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, kissed her neck. Good morning, beautiful. Morning. Sleep well? Always when I'm next to you. She turned in his arms. Do you ever think about how we started? How insane this whole thing was? Every day. And every day, I'm grateful your father was an idiot with terrible gambling habits. Sung-ho. I'm serious. If he hadn't screwed up, you never would have walked into my life. I'd still be alone, miserable, going through the motions. He cupped her face. You saved me, Alana. More than I saved you. We saved each other. Mommy! Daddy! Look what I made. Narai came running with a drawing. Their family, stick figures holding hands. It's beautiful, baby girl, Sung-ho said, lifting her up. Just like you. As Alana watched her husband play with their children, she thought about the scared 24-year-old who'd stood in that chapel 5 years ago. That girl had thought her life was over. She'd had no idea it was just beginning. "Hey," Sung-ho said, catching her expression. "Where'd you go?" "Just thinking about how wrong I was. About you, about us, about everything. Good wrong or bad wrong? The best wrong." She kissed him softly. "I was forced to marry you, but I choose to love you. Every single day. I choose you. And I choose you. For the rest of my life, however long that is. Forever, hopefully. Forever works for me." And surrounded by the family they'd built from the darkest beginning, Alana knew one truth with absolute certainty. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you turns out to be the best thing that ever could have happened. Sometimes forced becomes chosen. Sometimes duty becomes love. And sometimes the 39-year-old mafia boss you were forced to marry becomes the love of your life. The end. Final message. Sometimes love comes from the most unexpected places. Sometimes age is just a number when the connection is real. And sometimes being forced into something is actually fate, giving you exactly what you needed. If you enjoyed this story, besties, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Alana and Sung-ho's journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.